As the saying goes, empowering the youth is empowering the future. That is why we are here today on the University of Ghana campus to inquire from the students their thoughts on the current state of Ghana's educational system. This is Youth TV, empowering and projecting the youth. I am Severina Etonam, and let's hear what they have to say.
Free SHS should be cancelled. My reason for saying that is because the teachers and then the headmasters in the school are using that to actually gain money, because they sell a lot of things in their school which is not supposed to be done. In my year batch, if you are going to school, you buy everything at the market, but right now it's not supposed to be so, because they are now selling the things in their school, which is even more costly than what they are selling in the market. Let's say if you actually gain admission to pre-sec with grade 8, and then someone also gain to that place to grade 40. It's not supposed to be so. I think we should cancel the free SHS and actually make the school fees to be 100 cedis so that everybody can pay.
So do you think all these things are affecting the quality of education we are giving to the young people?
Of course it is, because they will come to the house, others will vacate and then they will be in the house, and others will be in the school, because some people have money to also afford and go to classes, but others too don't have. So when they come to the house, others will have to go and be selling outside, which is not the best, because they will be under these scotches and selling, and while they're supposed to be with their books and be learning.
Okay, so Blessing, what are your thoughts on our educational system in Ghana?
Okay, so so far, based on my observations and everything, I think that most of them are based on the theory aspect, of which doesn't allow students to engage themselves in the practical aspect of education. Yeah, I'm saying that because since the time that we actually, since our period in school and everything, most of us are used to reading books and other stuff rather than knowing the practical aspect of it. So when you send maybe a student to a place or maybe a program or something, and then you ask them to engage themselves in the practical aspect of what they are learning, they don't really have much idea about that, of which we are really lacking behind as a country.
There have been rumors on cancel free SHS, it's not providing quality education. Yourself, when you were there, how was it for you?
The period that I was in SHS, I can say that it was okay, but sometimes, the food that you prefer and everything is not what you are going to get. Yes, but I think more than if there's some sort of enhancement and everything, and then it's going to promote the free SHS as well.
Haruna Iddrisu has been appointed as the Minister of Education designate. What are your thoughts? Because there are rumors going around about if he is capable of doing the job and all that. What do you think?
Actually, when I heard of the appointment, I actually went to Google about him and to see maybe if he has in-depth knowledge about the field of education. But actually, I didn't see any of that. Yeah, so I was very surprised, but I know it's actually politics and everything. But educational sector is a very, very sensitive aspect where it should be looked on very, very well. So appointing someone who doesn't have much idea about that is very, 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 very disturbing. So looking at the former minister, that's Iddrisu, I think he was much into that. So appointing him there, he brought a lot of changes there. So I can't condemn him, and then sometimes you can't, since the person hasn't started working, you can't actually go by judging. Yes, but for me, I think it should be based on merit rather than being partisan. I wish him all the best. I just pray that he delivers. But I'm also encouraging other political parties and then to also learn that appointments should always be based on merit and not from partisan or because it's in your political party, so let's appoint him and you share the position among yourself. No, it should always be based on merit.
Free SHS is a good thing which shouldn't be cancelled, but there are many things that could be done about it, and then maybe many policies that could be implemented. The tertiary level is kind of a different ball game altogether, and the tertiary level to the boarding system is a huge problem. Yeah, right now, when it comes to accommodation system, level 100s are coming. In fact, when it comes to my department, nursing and midwifery, and the nursing school, in fact, we lack when it comes to practicals, and nursing is all about practicals. You can't do more of theory, and then the practical we are lacking. So we need more infrastructures into these practical situations, and teaching assistants or more of practical people to take us through those things. And I think this government could do better. Thank you.
Yeah, so as a nursing and midwifery student, are you also part of the system where you guys get allowances? Do you also get allowances?
No, please. We never had allowance.
Okay. So would you like to comment on the cancellation of the allowances for those who are in the nursing training? And
Yes, it is a in fact, very much good for it to be cancelled, because I don't know why you should be schooling and then they should be paying you, like in allowance. For what? You are there to learn, and then let's say you get the allowance and then you graduate, you are not able to get work to do. Would you say that when you are attending school, they pay you, so you want to be in the house like that? No. The good thing is that you graduate and you are able to get work to do. So I think that allowance should be cancelled and used to provide more works for us to do when we are done with the school.
okay, so finally, we've heard of the appointments of the Minister of Education designate. And I want you to comment on his appointment, because there are lots of discussions going on around his appointment based on his background as a Minister of Communication and others, and then coming to education. What do you think? Do you think there's a relationship? Do you think he can do well? Do you think he has something to offer in the education sector?
Okay, well, thank you. In fact, his appointment has been one of the best appointments I've seen so far. Though he has not, I know well he will pass the vetting and then he would be put into power to guide the education ministry. And then I am very glad he can actually do it when it comes to his competency. We have seen where he has served, being a member of parliament in the communication sector. In fact, he has always delivered, being a leader in the minority and then in the majority as far time back. He has delivered, and I think Honorable Haruna Iddrisu is the best man to man up when it comes to the education sector. So I would say he is a perfect selection for the work, and then he will do well.
Thank you. I think not long ago, I was in SHS before recently gained admission to Legon. And I can say that with SHS, the situations over there, more especially, I think when it comes to academic criteria and everything, it is not in proper shape. That we must say that we don't have to, reform the education structure. The problem has to do with how people, the process that they go in the education system. Let's say student has to go to campus for like 1 month and then come to sit home for like 3 months, and the process is very bad. And sometimes too, it has to do with the food that they eat over there. Recently, I heard that the president-elect has released some emergency food stuff. Yes, the president-elect has released some food stuff for them to curb the food issues in some of our SHS. And I'm hoping that he will do more to make sure that these problems are being tackled.
Yes. So coming to the tertiary level, as a tertiary student now, actually in UG, what has been the difficulties that you have faced?
University of Ghana, I think personally to me, it has to do with our accommodation matters here. Accommodation is a very serious problem to university students, more especially UG students. Can you imagine, as a student of humanities, I am paying 1,700 cedis as my school fees, then pay 5,800 Ghana cedis as my hall fees. So sometimes my mother will be like, school no more could die and I'm going. You understand? It is so frustrating. And even with that amount, even you are willing to pay, but you even get the opportunity to, have access to a hall. You understand? You book and you won't get. So I think they should really have a focus at that place too. It's a very serious matter. If you ask 70% of University of Ghana students, they will tell you the main challenge here is accommodation issue. So,
okay.
Thank you.
So aside the accommodation issues, when it comes to your courses, your program of study, have you ever faced the comments that certain programs are not relevant because people go out there into the world of work and they still do not have the skills that they need?
Personally, I think this mistake, sometimes I have to blame parents. Secondly, we the students ourselves. In a sense that, let me cite an example using myself. Initially, when I applied to Legon, I had admission to study economics, statistics, and then mathematics. As a matter of fact, considering my academic standard in maths, I realized that it wouldn't be in good stance for me to come to the university and read mathematics, statistics, and economics, because my passion over there is very less. You understand? So I thought it right that let me sit and then make reapplication. Then I applied again and I had political science, Chinese and linguistics. And as it stands now, my performance in that area is really appealing.
Honorable Haruna Iddrisu is the Minister of Education designate. What are your thoughts? Because there are a lot of comments around based on his history and all that. And his predecessor, the education minister before, has done a lot and has been commended. And people are saying, do you think that the shoes are too big for Honorable Haruna Iddrisu to fill?
I think these comments are politically aligned. When somebody say Haruna Iddrisu is not somebody who can handle the education sector, most especially I can say it is party opponents that are normally making that such critics. Because, and even those people, the previous government, they appointed Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who was a doctor, to come and manage the education sector. He again came to serve as an energy minister, you understand? Somebody who is a doctor of dentists. So how was he able to manage the education system? You understand? And not to talk about Haruna Iddrisu, I think Haruna Iddrisu is an experienced politician, honestly, who have been in Ghana's parliament for a very long time. You understand? If I'm not mistaken, since 2002 till this time, it's not easy. And before he even entered parliament, he was the NUCS president, National Union of Ghana Students. So I think he should understand more about education to be able to fit properly to that. People commenting that the former education minister, Mr. Duchum, has done so well. It's so good. Government is a real race. So far as he has done his part, it is actually up to the new leaders to continue what he has done, his legacy, so that we can be able to improve the educational sector to a higher peak.
Okay, so anything you want to say to the Honorable Haruna Iddrisu?
I would tell him that he should really look into our education system and then should not based on the free SHS alone, because we are saying that's where the problem comes from. You should start from the grassroots, the basic schools. Nursery. There are still schools in Ghana that are under trees, and there are schools that are lacking chairs and all that. They should go grounds and then make sure that the MCs and DCs being appointed for, they will make sure that they gather all those schools who need all these facilities so that they will solve it and then restructure. This current government was sworn in power saying that they want to come and reset Ghana. So we are hoping that they do it as they say, in all sectors, not limiting to education only. I thank you.
I'm sure you are aware of the appointment of Honorable Haruna Iddrisu as the Minister of Education designate. And people, comments going around saying he's not fit, that the shoes of the former education minister is too big for him to fill because of his background in communication. What do you think?
All right, thank you for this opportunity. I think this is a very good question to ask, and that Honorable Haruna Iddrisu has been appointed Minister for Education. I think it's a nice move. This is good for Ghana. This is good for we students and the whole Ghanaians in general. And for some people to say or to hold a view that Haruna Iddrisu is not fit for this position, I think this one is an unfortunate observation or comments, because not just because he is having a communication background or a lawyer does not make him fit for education ministry. No, I think this is someone who has so much experience in student leadership, right from his university days all the way to deputy ministerial position until today. This is a long-serving MP of Tamale Central who has been able to marshal Ghana votes, and he's been consistent on government day-to-day administration during opposition and in government. And today we have this same person who has experience of managing a ministry. This is not the first time he's going to be a minister. He has been a minister, serving a ministry, managing a whole ministry. So this is not an experience that you can undermine or you cannot look down upon it. To be a minister of this country goes beyond you were having what certificate on what, though it is very, very necessary to have a background that links to the position that you are coming to serve. But there is this general rule or expectation of someone occupying a position like that. And for those positions, like I mentioned earlier, Haruna Iddrisu has been through almost all of them. You cannot just say that he has not been an educationist. Because of that, he shouldn't be, or he's not qualified to be education minister.
So what you're saying is that you don't need to be an educationist. You don't need to have all the technical know-how to be an educational minister, as people are putting out there.
Okay, you don't necessarily have to come from education background or to be an educationist before you can run Ministry of Education. To run a ministry itself requires more than just being an educationist or being a teacher. A ministry itself is a whole entity that you are coming to manage. Management skills, experience, and expertise in handling human beings, resources, and then a whole lot of things goes into the ministry. So it does not necessarily mean, let's say, a sports minister has to be a sportsman before. A chieftaincy minister has to be a chief. So this idea cannot hold. No. So it is more about the competent level in managing a ministry, in managing an institution. And Haruna Iddrisu, for me, he is best fit, though he would have been fit into another ministry positions. But this one too is very, very cool. The man is fit enough to handle it. The only thing we have to do is to be optimistic, looking forward to how he will handle it for we the students and the whole Ghanaians.
Okay, so what do you want to say to Honorable Haruna Iddrisu?
Okay, Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, for a little that I know about him, how he has served from his days in students' politics until the time he was communication minister, all this while, I think the man, when Ghanaians put our hopes in him, he will not disappoint us. As the president, as His Excellency President Mahama has seen the capabilities of him and decided to entrust that position into his hands, we also have hopes on him that he should not disappoint us. He should uplift the educational system. We students, currently tertiary students, university students, we actually want to see results. We want to see reforms. We want to see innovations into our educational system that will benefit today's students and then students who are also yet to come. Not forgetting about the basic level, the kind of syllabus that will be available for the students right from the kindergarten all the way up here. I think Haruna Iddrisu should be aware that the educational system of this country requires a lot. So he should prepare to face a lot and to do a lot for the educational system so as to benefit the whole Ghanaians.
Once again, empowering the youth is empowering the future. And today, we've heard the voices of the youth on these national issues. This is Youth TV, empowering and projecting the youth. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time.